Hello, so today we are going to be talking about ridges, which is read the problem, I know statement, draw a picture, goal statement, equation development, and solve the equation. So we're going to solve two equations using ridges. So I'm going to start with the first step, which is read the problem. Bianca's class is going on a field trip to the zoo. If each van can hold 3 people and there are 19 students and 2 adults going, how many vans will they need? So now that I've read the problem, I'm going to go on to the next step, which is the I know statement. After reading this equation, I know that each van can hold 3 people. I also know that there are 21 people going. So following the I know statement, I'm going to move on to the next step, draw a picture. So I have 21 people drawn because there are 19 students and 2 adults, which is 21 people total. So now I'm going to move on to the goal statement. So for the goal statement, I know that we are trying to find how many vans we need total. So we are going to then look at equation development. So I know that there are 21 people and we need to divide by 3 because there are 3 people to each van. So 21 people and 3 people to each van. We are then going to move on to solving the equation. I will also show this with picture form. So since there are 21 people and I know that 3 people go into each van, I'm going to draw a rectangle around 3 people to represent that that is 1 van. Like so. So I'm going to keep doing this. So 3 people to 1 van, 3 people to 1 van. So I'm now drawn, so each person fits perfectly into a van, so we're not going to leave any people behind on this field trip. That would be super sad. So I can now count and see how many vans we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 vans. So 21 divided by 3 is 7. That is the answer to our first equation. We are now going to move on to another equation, which is a pet store just got some new fish. If each fish tank can hold 5 fish and there are 30 fish, how many tanks will they need? So we are going to draw this out. But before that, I'm going to look at the next step in ridges, which is I know statement. So I've already read the problem, so moving on is the I know statement. And I know that each fish, or that there are 30 fish total, and each fish tank can hold 5 fish. So those are the 2 things from this equation that I know. So now moving on to the next step in ridges, which is draw a picture. So I'm going to draw 30 fish. So I now have 30 fish drawn. And looking back at the I know statement, I know that each tank can hold 5 fish. So I have 30 fish, and now I'm going to look at the tank, write my drawing, and I'm going to draw a circle around each set of 5 fish. So I'm going to count 5 fish and draw a circle around each one. So there's my fish tanks. So next, with the goal statement, What this equation is telling us, or what we are trying to find, is how many fish are supposed to go into each tank. So looking at the 30 fish, we want to see, okay, so we don't want to leave any fish behind, and we don't want any tanks to have more fish than another tank. So we don't want one fish tank to have 10 fish and the other to have 1 fish. We want to make sure each fish goes equally into a fish tank. So now with the equation development, I know that there are 30 fish and 5 tanks. And we want these fish equally into each tank. So I'm going to do 30 divided by 5, and I am now going to figure out what that is. So we have 30 fish and 5 tanks. So our last step so we already did equation development, we are now going to work on solving the equation. So 30 divided by 5. So since I have drawn a fish tank around each set of 5 fish, I can just count how many fish tanks I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fish tanks. So I'm going to write that down, that 30 divided by 5 is 6. And here's my visual. There are 6 fish tanks.